Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Now, it is seldom that I get a book that I'm really sort of enthused about. Now, at one time, I taught indoor landscaping and indoor plants at the college level in the regular program. So, what I was looking at was the care of. And often the books that I got or were for the course were okay. They weren't bad, but they didn't do one thing, and that was tell you how to look after a problem with organic solutions. In other words, time has evolved. And this book called What's Wrong with My Houseplant by David Deerdorf and Catherine Wadsworth is excellent. This one is published by Timber Press, and I like it a lot. There's a couple reasons that I do like this one. One, the plant material in here is not just the common ones, nor is it just the exotic ones. It sort of goes across, and I could teach from this book. Now, one of the best things about it also is the fact that the color pictures have been sized to the appropriate dimensions for for what it's trying to show. So if a plant needs a page where the picture is half the page, it gets it. Or if it needs a picture that is an eighth of a page, then it gets an eighth of a page. But the pictures are all color. They're all color accurate. They're clear. They're well taken. And definitely you're going to be able to identify each and every plant when you go out to the garden center from this book, just from the picture. Never mind the descriptions and the names. You'll know that you're looking at the same plant. The other thing that I like about this one is that, yes, it does all the usual things that this plant needs for a particular conditions in your home. Now, there is also cautions put in. So if a plant is poisonous or part of the plant is poisonous, either to pets or to people, it's going to be in there. Particularly, well, I'll give you an example. Sago palm. The plant, especially the seeds, is poisonous to people and pets, with a fatality rate of 50 to 75%. Fortunately, it's very unlikely that you're going to eat this plant because it's very tough, and I mean texture-wise, as well as you're not going to want to chew on this thing because it is that tough. So the leaves are tough to chew on. You're less likely to get poisoned by it. But if someone does accidentally chew on this sago palm, you'd better darn well call the ambulance right away and the poison control center and maybe a vet, depending on whether it's a person or a pet. You got it, right? So it goes into that type of depth on a plant. And at the same time, it'll give you all the conditions you have to grow it in, the temperatures, humidity, the potting mix, the fertilizers. But it also will cover propagation and frequency of repotting. I've sort of picked one I think is a good one. You've got all of that information in each plant for all the plants in here. So it's very good. But you want to pick a plant that is for the right conditions in your home. So you can do that with this book. But at the same time, you can go to the end of each section and you've picked out the 5 plants that are the best, and you know yourself and your home better than anyone else. It's going to list the common problems. Now, the common problems for that particular plant will change, but they are not posted right with the plant. What they do is they reference a page number for the problems that the plant has. So you can go and say, oh, this plant has a problem with spider mite. That may be all the information you need to make the decision. But if it's not, then what you can do is you can go to that page number and look it up and see what the controls are, the organic controls as well for the plant, and what to look for in the store when you're looking at the plant. So if you see a plant and it's got the markings and that of a problem, you'll be able to recognize the problem. And I remember going through here, and one of the things that I taught was the fact that flowering maple. The flowering maples are not maples, they are ablutions, and of course they need certain care and pruning and all of that. But there is a variety that has blotched in a lighter greeny yellow, and it looks like a maple leaf. But you'd think, okay, it's diseased, it's virused. It's not. That one, that's its coloration, but it looks like it's virused or diseased. And that is explained in this book. It goes to that depth with that accuracy. So that's why I think this is an extremely good book. It, again, is called What's Wrong with My Houseplant? Save Your Indoor Plants with 100% Organic Solutions. And remember that. By David Deerdorf and Catherine Wadsworth, and distributed by Timber Press, and it is well worth it. So if you want to grow lady slippers, or you want to grow cactus and other aloes and sedums, you want to grow philodendrons, Swedish ivy, creeping figs. I get people in the south who grow creeping figs. I can't believe they grow creeping figs down there, simply because it becomes a weed for them and they don't have any problems with it. But up here, it seems to always dry out and die in sections. So, don't tell my daughter. They even cover string of pearls plants as well. So, a lot of plants that you can use in the home, and both common and a little more unusual, with many, many good and appropriate notes. So, pick this up. Again, it is the What's Wrong with My Houseplant? Save Your Indoor Plants with 100% Organic Solutions, David Deerdorf and Catherine Wadsworth, and distributed, published by Timber Press. A good book. I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.